Hello YouTubers!
안녕하세요.
We are going to talk about housing in general. In South Korea, we have issue of buying house, especially in Seoul. If you want to buy a house in Seoul, you need 20 years of working without spending any money. This is crazy. So I want to know United States housing issue.
So, the price of a house in the United States, it can vary from location to location, and more specifically, it will vary a lot whether you're in the city or whether you're not in the city. You know, like in somewhere more in the countryside. I have an article here that has average house prices per state, and it varies from as low as $108,000 in West Virginia to $636,000 on average in Hawaii.
Oh.
I've heard it can go quite a bit higher if you're in like some of the really big cities like Los Angeles or New York. I've heard in New York it's absolutely horrendous there, like millions. Right. Is not uncommon. Like not even for a house, just for an apartment. Here in South Dakota, where we are, we're more towards the lower end of the house price spectrum. We are about $200,000. That's the average price for a house here. I'd say it's not bad here. I can't really speak for the United States as a whole. It makes more sense to speak for locales in the United States.
That's fair. It's the same in South Korea, especially Seoul is extremely high. But near Seoul, because of influence of Seoul, many people cannot afford house in Seoul. They want to move out, like near Seoul. That's why demand of house near Seoul is going up. That's why price is going up as well. So it's been issue in South Korea that college graduate cannot afford house. They don't get married. They don't want a baby, something like that. Loan available for buying house?
Yeah, here in the United States, it's pretty common to get a mortgage for your house. Typically, what will happen is you go to the bank. They look at all your financial history as well as your credit score, which I'm not sure if that's a thing in South Korea, but it is here. And they determine whether or not you can take the loan, and then you use that to pay for your house. And then you pay off your loan to the bank over time in installments. Typically, it's about 15 to 30 years to pay off the loan in full. At least that's the maximum length you can. If you have really good credit and if you have a really good loan to value ratio, then you can get an interest rate on your loan as low as 4%.
We have lowest interest as 3.6. It changes all the time, so average is 4%. I think it's almost the same.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm really interested in is how many years take for a college graduate to buy a house, because in Seoul you have to work for 20 years just straight, not spending any money. And for example, Anyang is where I'm from. Average of apartment is $200,000, but the average income is about $20,000. That's it. That's very low. So you have to save up 10 years. How about United States?
Well, I would say it depends on your chosen career, of course. The average salary for a college graduate is around $50,000. The payoff time can vary by quite a bit. A few years, you know, like it.
Maybe 4 years or less than that?
4 years, I'd say 4 to 8 years is a good range,
okay.
Maybe.
You see the difference between South Korea and United States?
Indeed.
That's why housing is issue in South Korea.
So.
Say something?
Hello.